I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
Hello, everyone out there in podcast land. This is the Beyond the Mouse podcast, the Disney-themed podcast for the Front Row Network and for NPR Illinois. And I am Craig, one of your hosts. I'm joined today by my two co-hosts, Vanessa Ferguson.
Hi, I'm usually last, so thanks for making me second.
For a reason, I'm going to Brett Rutherford last, and he knows why.
What? You know what? Well, hi. Like, are we cute today? Look at us. We did not plan this.
No.
We are all wearing red, and we're cute.
Am I more of a coral? I don't know. Is this more of a coral?
Okay.
More of a coral.
You're on the red spectrum. Okay. Is that okay? You know,
Absolutely.
When we were discussing the topic for today, which you don't know yet, but you'll know shortly, Craig was saying, okay, I'm going to give you a little hint. You need to do such and such and such and such. Because I'm like going, because this is supposed to be fun today. And so anyway, so go ahead.
You are, we're not going to bury the lead. We are doing a song draft today. And so I had to communicate to some of my fellow co-hosts that might not be as into athletics and sports as I am, that what a draft might actually be. And
I know you were talking about all these different things, which I'm like going, you know, okay, I was an arts kid, you know, I was while you all were doing drafts and brackets and
buckets
snake and what? No, snake drills or what? Snake what? When you were all doing that, I was practicing trombone or learning lines for a play. So this is all new. I don't know what we're doing today, but hopefully by the end I'll get it.
Well, dear listener, what we are doing today is a couple of things. We're going to first talk about, and the reason why we're doing a song draft now is because Disney Plus has this amazing documentary called Howard on Howard Ashman coming out on August 7th. And so kind of a way to celebrate that, we decided we're going to all take turns picking our own team, the best Disney songs we can come up with. And then we are going to put that out to all of you to decide which team would win if all these Disney songs competed against each other. So we're going to do 7 rounds of that. But before we do, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge the previous couple of months that we've had. It's been just incredible, the amount of individuals we've had on for interviews and the experiences that we had. So I wanted to speak to that a bit, because this is really one of the first times that it's just the 3 of us on a podcast together for a while. You just heard the Enchanted episode. That was really recorded a couple of months ago. So just to kind of recap, Brett, talk to me about these interviews that we've had and sort of what you feel about them and your experiences.
As you can tell from my very dropped jaw, I say wow a lot after everything, because I am still in just awe and wonder of the wonderful time that we've had and how gracious some really interesting and important and wonderful and Disney legends and everything have spent some time with us. I mean, I have like serious goosebumps. So anyway, it's been amazing, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Well, that's a great segue. I should say that next week, we will also have an interview. We had talked a bit about it on our social media, so make sure you always follow us on social media, because we actually gave you the opportunity to ask some questions of this individual. But next week, we'll be releasing the Dan Cockrell interview. Dan was a VP of 3 of the 4 Walt Disney World parks. So he ran daily operations for Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and the Magic Kingdom. He had a 26-year career with the Disney company. It's just a remarkable interview, and really a different style interview than what we've done, because we got to talk more about the parks, but also we got to talk more about business and leadership and entrepreneurship. It was just kind of a fun conversation, and can't wait for that to be released. But Vanessa, I wanted to get your thoughts on the guests that we've had, the experiences that we've had, before we start to dive into this week's topic.
Yeah, it's just been really amazing. I can't think of another word to say other than amazing. I mean, I still think about things that Floyd Norman said. I think about things that Bob Gurr said, Leslie, our friend Kay. Now I'm thinking about Dan and his new book coming out. I definitely want to go buy it. They each have something to share that's really wise and worthy of listening to. And it's just a great way to spend your time in listening to what they know. I mean, they've gotten so far in their lives and their careers, and they have so much to share. So definitely listen to those. We had a blast. I hope everyone else has a blast listening to them as well.
And I should make a note that we are going to continue to bring these types of interviews to you as they're available to us. So it is something that'll be an ongoing thing, and we're looking forward to what guests we might have in the future. And you will be some of the first to know once we book those guests and get those recorded. We can't wait. But there's many of you that are probably new to our feed because we are increasing our presence, especially over on Instagram. Thanks for following along with us over there at Beyond the Mouse Pod. You can also find us on Facebook. But if you're new to the feed, this is the origin story of Beyond the Mouse, was the three of us talking Disney, talking about things that we really wanted to discuss as the three of us, just to keep that Disney in our lives. And especially now when we are doing this virtually and not in person, we want to make sure we continue to do that. And so that's why you still will get these episodes with the three musketeers right here. We will continue to bring those to you. Maybe the three mouseketeers is what
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, that
I think
is
we're
too cute.
Musketeers.
I don't
and we're
speak
all in
Spanish, so I
red.
can't say caballeros.
Now, Brett, you said
caballeros.
you had a question for us prior to the recording
The
started.
question, well, yes. Okay. Leading up to this, it was rather clear, and it's kind of even more clear now since we're all wearing our team colors of red because we're really into this.
Coral.
I think coral, sorry.
And coral.
I have a coral. I could put my coral on. Anyway, just kidding. Okay. Anyway, I think we need some ground rules because we're here to have fun. Right. So that's so ground rules is fun because going back when we did the Pixar, were those with the buckets or the brackets? Sorry. The brackets.
Those were just rankings, Brett. Those were just
those were
them in
rankings.
order.
Those were oh gosh. See, I was off. Anyway. Well, it started. Well, Lou was intense, not quite as intense as you were the other day when you were telling us about this, Craig. But anyway. And we started at 11 o'clock at night, and we were done at 3:30 in the morning. And, I'm like going, I had the hard time, keeping up with everything. So we're in my time now, the afternoon. So get ready. I mean, hi.
All right. He's coming after us. Before we
fun.
dive
It's
into
about
this
fun.
competition, absolutely, it's all about fun. And no one can get hurt because we're all in second. So.
Right. No one can get hurt. Oh,
maybe just emotional trauma, right? But before we really get into the draft in earnest, I think it would be smart of us to talk about Alan Menken and Howard Ashman, because the documentary is coming out, and that's the reason why we're releasing that this week. Alan Menken just scored his EGOT. He finally got it. There's a Tangled series that premieres on the Disney Channel throughout the day, and so he was qualified for a daytime Emmy and was able to secure the Emmy that he needed. And of course, he already had his Grammy, many Grammys. He had his Oscar, he had his Tony Awards. So we welcome Alan Menken to the EGOT family. There's only 16 of them out there, and it's just incredible. It's so great. It's so great.
We're like distant cousins, seventh removed.
We know people who have them. Do we? We'll have to work on that.
Probably not.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. I'm sure we do. But really, that pair, it was for until his untimely passing, which of course you'll learn much more about watching the documentary. But Howard Ashman did contract HIV, became HIV positive during Little Mermaid, and he passed away from AIDS prior to the release of Beauty and the Beast. And to think about the impact that man had on our musical lives in such a short period of time, whether that be something like Little Shop of Horrors, which is what really Jeffrey Katzenberg went to go see in New York and decided, this Alan Menken and Howard Ashman team, I need them at Disney. I need to bring them to Disney, and they need to come and work for us. Or The Little Mermaid, and just the beautiful music out of that. And then, of course, Beauty and the Beast, the triumphant Beauty and the Beast. And in the dedication for Beauty and the Beast, and I'm probably going to get this wrong because I'm not looking at it directly, but it's so beautiful. They dedicated the film to Howard Ashman, and they said he was the man that gave the voice to the mermaid and the soul to the beast. And so just a incredible tribute. I can't wait to watch this documentary. And I hope that you join along with us and watch it as well. And then we'll see even more about Howard Ashman than we know now and that we want to know more about. So thoughts on the team of Menken and Ashman and their impact before we dive into this draft, because I'm sure they are going to come up in the draft, I would imagine.
Well, I'll just say that Howard Ashman's story is a very touching story, and that he is this creative mind, and even up to the point where he was just so ill, he was still composing music that we all know and love and has been eternal. So that's just a really an incredible story about how a person can still thrive creatively when they're not thriving physically. And there's a behind the scenes story in Aladdin when we did our Aladdin film review of the 90s one. And they talk about this song that they had to cut. And they were just so sad that they had to cut it because I think Howard Ashman had been a part of it. It was called Proud of Your Boy. And I mean, we're very proud of Howard Ashman. I'm sure his family and friends are as well. So to have a documentary where we can show everyone why we're all proud of him is just so poetic to me. And I'm just really excited about watching it.
Just so well timed with Menken finally receiving that EGOT, and just that team and that duo together. And of course, Alan Menken has paired up with numerous people since Ashman's passing. We just talked about Enchanted, where him and Stephen Schwartz came up with some amazing music that was all Oscar nominated. But just the timing does seem a bit serendipitous. Brett, any thoughts before we move on to the draft?
Well, I think briefly, I've been in part of Beauty and the Beast, the theater production, a couple of times, but I think the second time I was working on it, I was able to be a part of the performance of Human Again, which was not in the film, but was in the theater piece. And to think that Howard Ashman, because he was going through his illness at that time, was writing about being human again. The lyrics to that song bring a whole nother meaning to that. So I'm sure I hope that that's part of the program. So but Human Again is just a very special song to me because of the situation.
Yeah, it's definitely worth searching through those extras on Disney Plus as well to be able to check out those and see more about Howard Ashman. And I can't wait to get to watch this documentary this week, and very excited about that. So now it's time. The time has come. The game faces are on. This is what we're going to do. We are going to have 7 rounds. I used a generator to come up with the order. So no complaints about the order prior to this happening.
As long as we're not doing a snake drill or snake, anyway, I don't know.
Snake draft, Brett, a snake draft.
Okay, snake draft.
Anyway,
okay.
The rules are as follows. There are hardly any rules. You can pick any song you want within the Disney umbrella, and that song can be from a movie, it can be from a TV show, it can be from the parks, it can be from whatever you want. Your main goal is to draft the best team that will win the most votes on our social media. So we will post all of these together, and it is a competition. Don't fool yourselves. There will be some kind of an award. If I win it,
Ooh, award?
I don't know what it will be, but we will come up with something that we can have some bragging rights about this. So there will be 3 teams going into this. It's the 3 of us. I don't know if we have team names.
We'll work on that. You didn't give us that assignment.
Like my team name to be Team Winner.
Team Winner. Oh,
I have to work on these things. Oh my god!
I will say my fantasy football team name is the Marceline Marbles. Do you see what I did there? Because Marceline and the Marble.
Well, is that why we have teams? Because you already have a name.
Well, that's just been my fantasy football team for years.
Okay, really?
Brett,
that is so cute.
You could be Team 3rd place.
All right.
I don't want to be Team Turkey Leg. Oopsie, that was another thing. Part of the rules. There could be no turkey leg references or anything like that else, Craig, because you know that will throw us off. And I know that these are all tactics. I know. I mean,
I'm so
All
gonna
right.
win this.
Does everybody have their draft boards ready? Here
Ready.
it goes. So once a song is selected, it is off the board. It cannot be selected by multiple people. All right. Number 1. The first pick of the draft on the clock, Vanessa Ferguson. You get the first pick of the draft.
I thought about this. I've been thinking about what you guys would pick first. So I'm going to go with How Far I'll Go from Moana. Because I think you would pick that. Oh, you would not have. Darn it. Well,
no. I have to put my poker face on or whatever this is.
Okay, so that's my first one. It's one, I've also, with many of these selections, I thought about our friend to the podcast, Kevin Kulvik, and what he would like, because he really likes Disney songs. And I know that's probably his number 1 or number 2. So I know I'm trying to get his vote in this, because I think he's going to vote for my team. So How Far I'll Go from Moana. This is my pick, my first pick.
Lin-Manuel. You're busting out the Lin-Manuel right away, which I like. It's a good, it's like one of those great, like, I want songs, like I'm going to do this. Moana's a great addition to Disney princesses. I can see your logic there. So it seems like a fairly good pick to me. I don't know.
It's a good driving song too. Like if you want to drive somewhere and just belts, like how far I'll go, I am Moana. Yeah, I think those are the lyrics. Maybe not, but still, this is still my first pick.
It's so good. I thought I was listening to
it's like
recording.
The same soundtrack with me singing. I know, right?
So good at saying your name until the podcast starts. Anyway, yes.
With the second pick of the draft, that is Team Craig. That's me. So I am going to choose, and this is a toughie because I have 2 iconic duos in my mind. Should I pick one or should I pick the other? And I think what I need to do here is I need to go classic. I need to go classic Disney first and make sure I get that pick locked in. I'm going with Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious by the Sherman Brothers from Mary Poppins, because who doesn't automatically identify that song as a Disney song? It's just absolutely incredible. So
Can you spell it?
I'm going to take... I absolutely can't. I know you can, Brett.
If you can't spell it, you can't use it. That's a new rule.
SUPERCALIFRAGILISTICEXPIALIDOCIOUS. But don't make me do that.
Wow.
So I am taking Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious off the board, and we're going to continue to move on here in the first round. That means we have one individual left to pick his first round pick.
Oh,
that
thank
is
you
Brett.
so much. Thank you. They were so kind to let me choose When You Wish Upon a Star.
Yeah, see, okay, oh, darn it. Okay, so I was kind of thinking about stealing that from you, but.
I know, I thought for sure you both, we did say, I said, because I didn't know, again, I did not know the rules or the buckets or the snakes or whatever. So I said, I want to choose When You Wish Upon a Star. Thank you. Thank you, my kind co-host, for letting me choose that. Well, it just means so much. When You Wish Upon a Star is kind of like, it's not necessarily my theme song, but it's kind of my moments of inspiration, and I've had a couple of them. And I do remember, are you ready for this, Central Illinois people and people around? Yeah, I remember driving to Springfield when I was or at least I was driving, so I was not that wee. But anyway, and I was thinking of When You Wish Upon a Star and what I was wishing for, and it was to work at Walt Disney World. I did, and I did.
So,
and then later you wished to be on a Disney-themed podcast.
And then I wished to be on a Disney-themed podcast. That was later, when I wished
to speak to Dan Cockrell.
When I wish upon a
while
podcast.
You were working. Yeah.
I think I found my team name. When I Wish Upon a Podcast.
Oh.
I don't know. I'll still work on another one.
So here's my thought. Brett, I think it's a strong pick. There's nothing I can criticize about this pick. I do wonder if people think about that, like if that song is almost too ingrained in Disney. And go with me here, it is the beginning of every Disney film, right? It's that iconic, this is something that's spread throughout the parks and everything else. It is the fabric of Disney. But for some reason, when we put our brackets last year, 2 years ago, with the Disney songs, it really got beat out pretty handily by some other songs. And I wonder if it's because people almost take it for granted. I guess we'll find out. Right?
I know. Well,
When You Wish
just
Upon
a little
Star,
bit of information. So When You Wish Upon a Star is from Pinocchio that debuted in 1940. The composer was Lee Harline, and composer slash lyricists are Lee Harwine and Ned Washington, and the artist, Jiminy Cricket himself, Cliff Edwards. It was number 7 in the American Film Institute's 100th Greatest Songs in Film History, and it joined the Library of Congress in 2009 in their National Recording Registry. So how's
Nice.
that?
That's
I know.
Great. That's a level of detail that I only come to expect from you, Brett. Are we ready to move on to round number 2?
I'm
Sure.
ready.
All right, round number 2. The first pick goes to Team Craig. So here I go. Again, 2 iconic duos that I think are going to be well represented within this draft, but I need to go with the people that I initially put first, and I'm glad that no one stole this song. I am taking the first Howard Ashman and Alan Menken song off the board. I'm taking Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid, and there's a reason for it. Part of Your World is one of those songs, if you can believe it, and you might know this because you're fans of Disney, but that song was initially going to be cut from the movie, but they sent it into a screening, and the screening audience just really reacted to it so positively. Could you imagine that movie without that song? Are you kidding me? And so it would go on to much acclaim. And again, it really started and boosted that Disney renaissance of the films that we all grew up with in the 90s, and the films that really recaptured the classical Disney magic. So that was my second pick to Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and I am very, very happy that I have gotten both of them off of the board at this point.
I'm so happy for you. I really am. That is so good. Yeah, and it was 1989, and yeah, when it debuted. It was the Thanksgiving movie in 1989. I remember. I had a turkey leg. No.
You heard it, folks. We had one.
I did not have a turkey leg. Oh, see, I'm breaking my own rule.
You're the one that made that rule, too.
I know.
All right. So that means the second pick of the second round goes to Brett Rutherford.
Oh my gosh.
No.
I'm like going, it's certainly not like PE. I'm like going, okay, so.
Don't take my song.
Let It Go.
Oh, that was the other one that I was thinking about, because it's one of those songs that has just become so iconic. And of course, a wonderful duo of the Anderson Lopez's.
Oh, really? Was this your choice?
No, I'm just saying I'm there with you, Brett.
Hi. So I chose Let It Go, which was from Frozen in 2013. Can you imagine? It was 2013. Wow. And the composers, Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez. The artist who also played the character of Elsa, if you weren't aware, Idina Menzel. And it won Academy Award for Best Original Song in 2014. Now, I know there might be some Let It Go haters out there. Release the hate. In other words, let it go. Because when has a Disney song entered the zeitgeist of the world in such a short amount of time as Let It Go? Because it means so much for everyone. I believe, let's see, I read in a little bit of an interview today when I was doing my research. Let's see, that Kristen Anderson Lopez was asked about the meaning behind it. And she said once they make a film, they allow the people to watch it to make their own inferences and to understand their own meaning. And there is so much meaning to that song. So for the haters out there, let it go and think about all that is the magic of that song and the performance by Idina Menzel. Thank you.
All right, to round out round 2.
Sorry,
Vanessa.
my dog's barking. Okay, so my pick is the fan favorite, Zero to Hero from Hercules. Let my soul hurt was on a roll. Person of the week and every crick up in your pole. Everybody loves that song. Everybody loves that song. They sing along to it. They get into it. It's gospel. It's fun. It's wave your hands. I don't know. Everybody just has a really good time when they listen to this song. And I'm going for the fan favorites on this, guys. That's how I'm going to win this, is I'm going to get people to vote for me because I'm picking the songs that they love. I don't know that Hercules music was ever really given its due, but it should be. So there you go.
It didn't quite go the distance.
Yeah.
I think it did. Well, did you know, Vanessa, did you know that, well, you knew that it was from Hercules. The composer-lyricists are Alan Menken and David Zippel. Composer is Alan Menken and lyricist David Zippel. And,
Zippel was on that?
Zippel!
I never would have thought Zippel.
Zippel! Let me put it up here so I can watch.
Up.
Zippel. And the artists were Tawatha Agee, Lilias White, LaChance, Roz Ryan, Cheryl Freeman, and Venice Y. Thomas. Apologies to those lovely artists if I got
I'm guessing Zero to Hero was on your list, Brett.
Oh, did it? Yeah. It made my list.
What's funny about that is it was a late addition to my list because the exact reason that Vanessa just said, I think that's a fan favorite song. I think it's a very good, solid pick there, Miss Vanessa.
Thank you.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Just like that, we are leaving the second round. We are going to the third round.
Third round.
Speeding right along, isn't it?
We'll be done before 3:30 in the morning. Yay!
The individual who has not had a first pick of a round yet is Mr. Brett Rutherford. So you are up.
I'm next? Oh,
You're next.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, gosh.
I've got a big one left on the board that I'm getting nervous about, guys. All right.
Okay.
I'm holding my belly. I've got to make sure it
These are
doesn't go
hard. You know, I had so much fun. I didn't know that I was going to have so much fun doing the homework for this because you listen to all of the songs. I didn't share the lists that I found because I'm like going, I did, you know, I'm like going, because there was like 126 or something like Disney songs anyway. And that was, anyway. Okay, let's get to it because you want to listen, listeners. Grim Grinning Ghosts from the Haunted Mansion.
That's another one that is on mine.
I have it on my list. Oh.
It's on your list. Oh.
It wasn't in my top, but that was one of my possibilities.
Well, there's so many. I mean, there's so many amazing songs that didn't make my top round or anyway.
We almost could have done this draft as like just films or just
theme
parks or whatever.
Oh, for sure.
Like
For sure.
it, honestly, just a wealth of songs that are out there. But Grim Grinning Ghosts is definitely so iconic.
It joined the Disney parks in 1969 with The Haunted Mansion. The composer is Buddy Baker, and lyricist is X Atencio, Xavier. And the artist.
Is so wild.
I know.
Because he wasn't a songwriter.
He wasn't a songwriter.
Bob Gurr spoke to us about that. He was like, you know, Walt would say like, X, you're going to write the song, the Pirates. And, you know, and of course,
it was after Pirates. So, you know, he was good by then. So let's see.
By then he was a trained lyricist.
Yes. So, and the artists, Thurl Ravenscroft and the Mellow Men. And did you know, I didn't know this, but the title comes from William Shakespeare's Venus and Adonis. It's in that piece of literature. Yeah, who knew? Grim Grinning Ghosts.
That's really cool.
Thank you, William Shakespeare.
Nice.
I know.
Right. Moving right along in the third round, we have Vanessa Ferguson with the next pick.
Okay. Okay. My next pick is another Kevin Kulovic favorite. Again, I'm going for votes here. And it is Prince Ali from Aladdin, the parade song. It's a question for Salisa Loring. Never ordinary, never boring. Kevin knows every word to that song, so I'm hoping to get his vote. That is also, in my mind, I really like the other song, Friend Like Me, I think is the name of it.
Yeah. But
I feel like this song is the perfect example of Robin Williams' character voices and his improv skills. So to me, this is just, anytime I have a Disney playlist, I'm always listening to this song. It's my favorite. It's so dynamic and creative and colorful, and it's just really fun. So anyway, so that's my pick for my next one.
Gosh.
Yeah, you're definitely locking in Kevin's vote. He's one vote, remember, Vanessa. So we do need to make sure that
I really want his vote to be firm.
Bit.
So there you go.
You know, it's funny. We went to was it like a Comic-Con or just actually up to visit our friend Ethan, and we recorded an episode like in the car, Kevin and I, and he sang all of Prince Ali. It's just so incredible. So I actually, when you said that How Far Will Go, was one of his favorites. I like in the back of my mind, I'm like, Prince Ali is his favorite. I know that. So well done.
I said it was either 1 or 2 because I didn't know if, since Moana, if that had bumped out Prince Ali, but I knew Prince Ali was like up there.
I
there we
am
go.
so excited for the last pick of this round because I get to retain my status as a father. I asked my son, favorite Disney song? And immediately the first thing that he said, You've Got a Friend in Me by Randy Newman from Toy Story, which of course is just a wonderful song and one that just keeps repeating itself back through all those great Toy Story movies, including the 4th one, which I will defend until my dying day, that it was a great movie. But You've Got a Friend in Me is just such a wonderful message. It's a wonderful song. And who doesn't love Randy Newman's comforting voice singing it along the way? So a great song, and I'm glad that I can have it for my 3rd.
There might be some out there who don't love it so much, but I mean, it's good.
Well, I don't know. I think the emotional,
You've Got a Friend in Me.
Appeal of, well, you don't want to disappoint Craig's son if you don't.
Well,
right.
I think it would have been really hilarious if Brett, you and I had picked that one before Craig had got a chance, and then what would have happened?
That would have been bad. See, so
well,
and is that a guy you really want to vote for?
Podcast.
Listeners, I wouldn't vote for a guy like that.
I would
vote for
okay,
me.
yeah, vote for, yes, listeners and viewers, vote for the songs, not the people, because we'll lose. I mean, just kidding. Love us all and love our music.
Love us all. That should be the tagline of the podcast.
Love us all. That's my team anyway. So
we're going into the hinge round. We're going into the middle round of the draft.
Round
number 4. It's the hinge.
It's
hard.
Hinge. We're going on the other side of it.
Hinge.
I
The
thought
top
you
of the
said
hill.
hedge.
It's the apex of the mountain. I don't know, whatever it is you want to call it. It's round number 4. Leading us off in round number 4, Miss Vanessa Ferguson.
Okay.
Wow, I couldn't say your name.
Sorry, Vanessa Ferguson.
Okay.
Vanessa Ferguson.
Oh gosh.
So I'm really torn on this one because I have 2 choices for this spot, and one is more iconic than the other. But I'm gonna go with the song that I think is just better. It's just better, and I've said that for a long time, so I'm gonna go with it. He Lives in You from Lion King the musical, or that like second movie with that nobody.
Lion King
saw.
1.5, or was it Lion King 2?
It was like the Romeo and Juliet version of Lion King.
Lives
with
in
the
You.
Video generation, gotta love.
Yeah, that one. I've watched it. I just can't remember the name of it. But so He Lives in You. It's an incredible song. The whole Lion King musical is just incredible because the choral parts are just. Gosh, so those tight harmonies just sound really great. But He Lives in You is just a really special song, and I think it's a fan favorite. I think a lot of our Broadway loving friends are gonna like this song.
I really can't disagree with you at all. I mean, it's such a great song, and I will say one of the biggest mistakes that Jon Favreau made in making the live action Lion King, the CG Lion King, is that he didn't input that song into the movie. Honestly. That's the song that, and I know, I get it. I understand you got to have Beyonce sing a song, but where Beyonce's song is in that movie, that's where you stick He Lives in You, because it is just such a better song. I'm sorry.
Yes.
But it's so good. And so I'm glad to see it represented and representing the Broadway crowd. Good for you. I like it.
Yeah. Thanks for your vote, Craig.
Absolutely. I've been sticking with films here,
I
but
vote
you guys,
for you too.
You're bringing Parks, you're bringing the Broadway, you're bringing it all. And I'm going to number 2 in this round, Brett Rutherford. You get the second pick.
Oh, it's getting harder and harder and harder. Let me look at my notes. It's getting so hard.
I know that there's a very little chance you're taking my next pick. So I'm not as nervous this round, because if you took my pick, honestly, I would be flabbergasted. So
I think I know what it is, and also I really want to take it, but I also don't want to mess up my list. But we'll see what it is. Okay. But Brett, what's yours? You have to pick. You have to pick your favorite child. Do it. Pick your favorite child. You know who it is.
I See the Light from Tangled.
Oh, going for the Lou Hare vote there.
Aww. Lou. Let's do the Lou
Actually,
Hair
I
vote.
did think about that, but I got too many good ones. I couldn't squeeze that one in.
Well, the composer, lyricist Alan Menken and Glenn Slater, artist Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi.
And we love them.
We love them
do
so
love
much.
them.
And
I love them so
picture
much.
it not just, I'm looking at you people, voters. Don't just think of it as the song from Tangled. You can do that because it's such a great song and such a wonderful moment. And the lanterns. Think of it also, it's been a part of the projections on the castle that we haven't seen for such a long time, but we can't wait to see. You can watch it on YouTube anyway if you really need to. As they float up the top spires of the castle, and it's just like you can see them go on.
It's a beautiful.
I'm gonna cry because
People,
I'm like going each time I'm crying. I'm
fair.
crying in every episode. But anyway, so
This is not fair.
I See the Light. And can you imagine? Did you watch? Oh yeah. Well, it was nominated for Best Original Song for Oscar nominated Best Original Song in 2011. And if you saw that performance, can you imagine Zachary Levi, Chuck, and everything else he's done, and Mandy Moore, who, because I was at D23 Expo in 2017 and watched their panel, prior to Tangled, she was thinking about giving up show business. So this is us, people. You can thank Tangled and I See the Light. So yeah, well, if you saw the performance, it was amazing. And let's sing for the Oscars. And luckily they didn't mess up their names, Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi. That happened a little bit later. Anyway, so I See the Light.
Good for them putting
I hope
themselves
you
out
do
there
too.
too, because so many, even Emily Blunt last go around didn't. I guess was that 2 years ago now. She didn't sing the Mary Poppins song, and I was like, come on, just let Emily Blunt do it. I think they had
Bette Midler, that was no slacker.
Yeah, but I know, but let Emily sing it. Well, guys, I'm so excited. I'm so happy. And I have a philosophy about this draft that really, if we just listen to each other's heart, we'll find that we're really not that far apart. And maybe we'll see that love is the reason why we're seeing each other. Eye to Eye.
I
We're
knew
picking
it.
Eye to
I
Eye
knew it.
by Tevin Campbell, a Goofy movie. Thank you, Kevin Lima, for bringing this amazing song into our lives. And it is a fan favorite. I, for one, know that I just secured. We're calling out fans. I know I just secured Reggie Guyton's vote because this is his favorite song. So I know for a fact that I've got him locked down.
Probably have Kevin's vote too.
It is such a great song. So thank you. Eye to Eye.
It is really great. It's a great one. And it mixes a little bit of Prince, a little bit of Michael Jackson. It's just got that really cool 90s vibe to it, but it still has some longevity to it. It's a great song. I did have it. I literally just crossed it out because I had it on one of my, if I'm going to be vicious, will I steal this from I have my own Craigslist of ones I think you're going to go, and I crossed it off. I have another one on here, though, that I think you're going to go with.
I don't want to know what my list looks like.
We'll see how many of mine you take. And if you take mine, I'm coming for you.
Ooh,
that's how we play this game.
Oh, no. Remember, we're having fun. So our guests have fun. Oh, they like to
burn this place to the ground if I don't win.
Okay. Oh, dear.
All right.
Oh, just kidding.
Yes.
We're entering into round 5.
my stomach.
You only have 3 songs left to pick. Round 4,
Oh,
5,
no.
6, and 7. I'm trying to think.
Let's go to 3:30 in the morning.
I'm almost secure in the fact that I don't think you all are going to pick the 3 songs that I have, except for maybe one of them, because we haven't drawn from anything from this particular movie yet. And so that's why, because I am the lead in the round 5, I am going to take off the board Be Our Guest from Beauty and the Beast. Just like I said, Be Our Guest, and immediately in your mind, you saw the scene. You saw the table set, and you saw the napkins, and you saw the Cogsworth and Lumiere, and you saw
delicious.
the salt pepper shakers. You saw it all as soon as I said the words "Be Our Guest," because it is such an iconic moment in film history. Beauty and the Beast being the first animated feature to be nominated for Best Picture. Should have won that year, but didn't. And part of the reason was because not only the music of Alan Menken and Howard Ashman, but also because of the iconic visuals you get in a song like Be Our Guest. So that is my 5th round pick.
I will say I loved that song as a kid. And back in the day, kids, we didn't have computers. So we had an electric keyboard, or not typewriter, electric typewriter is what they're called. And we didn't have YouTube. So if we wanted to learn the lyrics, we had to replay it, rewind on the VHS, and then type really fast what the lyrics were. So I literally at like 8 years old typed out the lyrics to Be Our Guest and listened to that song maybe, I don't know, 50 times. So it's a good one. I don't want anyone to encourage to vote for you, but that is a pretty good one.
Oh my gosh. That was, well, you were a child prodigy if you were typing at 8. Well, good.
I don't know. 8, 27.
27.
Who knows?
Last year it was Tuesday. I remember it was a Tuesday.
Right.
All right, going on with the second pick of round 5 is Brett Rutherford. You're up, my man.
Oh gosh. I know.
It's so funny. Every time I go to you, it's almost like there's 2 reactions you've given me so far, and people watching the video will see this. It's either you're horrified because you have no idea what to pick because it's like your children that you're choosing between, or you are so excited that it makes me believe you forgot that you're part of this draft. Like just now when I was like, Brett, you're up. You're like,
what? Yeah, like, well, this is all new to me because I thought we were talking about buckets. This is so hard.
Always about buckets.
So hard. Oh, okay. Okay.
You're on the clock, Brett.
Walt's favorite song, Feed the Birds.
Okay. I thought maybe
let's have to put
somebody
that
was
in
going
the
to
front
pick
of
it.
it.
Well, because it was
Feed
Walt
the
Disney's
Birds.
favorite song, Vanessa.
I don't like that's a mean strategy. You could have just said
That's
Feed
not
the
a mean
Birds, but said
strategy.
you're like, this is Walt's favorite song.
Oh my gosh.
And if you don't
The-
vote for
and
this,
if you were-
then
no.
it's a vote against Walt.
No,
That's what
no.
you're implying.
No, I am
The
not.
crudest,
But
the
you
crudest
are.
thing,
Thank you.
the crudest thing that will be said on this podcast today is that Brett, you can't get his vote. So, you know.
I know, but maybe
Greg.
Tom Hanks, are you listening? Because the moment in Saving Mr. Banks, the moment I was a mess. Okay, the moment he is sitting on the bench outside the Disney studio, and he's sitting outside on the bench, and he hears the piano of Feed the Birds. Now, most audience members just go, what's going on? And I cried. I mean, I just went, that's the first time he heard the song. I don't know if he was sitting on the, see, look. I don't know if he was sitting on a bench in real life or whatever, but because, well, I'm sorry, we're name dropping because we can. Was it Floyd Norman that was talking about the Richard Sherman story about, he's the only one that can play the piano, or was that Leslie Iwerks? I'm dropping again.
I think
Leslie?
that's in one of the documentaries.
No, I think it was someone that we interviewed talked about it. But anyway,
Floyd talked about that Richard Sherman's the only one that can play that piano.
Yeah, play the piano in now the restored Walt Disney office at the studios. So, and he would say it on Fridays, as Richard Sherman will say, can you play the song or play it? So
Someone should have got him an iPod.
So,
all right,
have a live. So anyway, Feed the Birds for Mary Poppins in 1964, and that's all I have to say about Feed the Birds. Mary Poppins, 1964. Walt Disney's favorite song. I did have that note.
Finishing out
Walt Disney's favorite song.
round 5. Finishing out round 5, Vanessa Ferguson, you are on the clock.
Okay, so this is another fan favorite. This is the ultimate workout song. I'll make a man out of you. Let's get down to business to defeat the buns. Everybody listens to this on their playlist in the gym, or at least they should, because it's the best motivation for working out. I know a lot of people who listen to it while they're lifting weights or running and stuff. So
a lot of people
Craig's
that
got it
lift
on
weights.
his running list.
Sorry. I
They
didn't mean
listed
that.
them. I'll make a man out of you because it's about working out and getting fit and going and defeating the Huns later after you've gotten
Well,
all
and who-
buff and
I
stuff.
mean,
And
you
it
know.
doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You got to work it out and figure it out and get all buff and then go defeat the Huns.
Defeat the
That's what
Huns.
it's about.
Because it's important to defeat the Huns.
Well, the Huns could be a metaphor for
The
whatever
Huns is a
you have,
metaphor.
what you got
Oh.
going in your life.
See, that's
Maybe
good.
it's going to the store. Maybe it's getting asking for a raise. You know, it could be
Okay.
anything. It's a motivational song, and I think it's going to win a lot of votes.
Exactly. It's so good, Vanessa.
Mhm.
So good.
It is good. Yes,
I'm
it
saying
is.
that. I'm saying that.
It is good, and it's from Mulan, and that's why everybody was so upset when they said Mulan wasn't going to be a musical. That means we lose. Defeat the Huns. Come on.
I know. Yeah.
Everybody sings that first line.
Well,
Everybody.
let's get down to business and go on to round number 6, so we can start
Oh
to
my
wrap
gosh.
this thing up. Round 6. The first pick goes to Brett.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my
You're
gosh.
just proving Craig right, by the way.
Oh my gosh. See, I could see if I win an Oscar, you'll know that that it's real.
Acting.
No. Oh gosh. Oh.
If you win an Oscar, you better thank the two of us.
Do they okay, I just have a quick question. Do they have award shows for podcasts?
They do. What are they? Is it the Audis? I think it is, or something. I don't know.
Well, we're submitting anyway. Under the sea, under the sea. From another one of our favorites from Little Mermaid. Let's see, where is it? Sorry, I'm trying to find my notes here. It won the Oscar for Best Original Song. So.
And Lin-Manuel Miranda credits Little Mermaid as being an inspiration to him in his career.
Oh wow! Well,
yeah,
cool.
because he was just a kid when he heard, Under the Sea, Kiss the
Under
Girl,
the Sea.
all that jazz.
There it is.
Under the Sea.
Best Oscar, Best Original Song in 1990. Again, Alan Menken and Howard Ashman. Little Mermaid, 1989. It's a very, very special song to me because of my time at Walt Disney World. Flounder and
that's why you
Ursula
chose
are
it
good
6
friends.
out of 7. So special that you chose it 6 out of 7.
I think is
great-
that called smack talk?
What a wonderful wealth of songs that come out of Little Mermaid. It's surprising to find the one that wins the Oscar for it. But good
Yeah,
job.
the one that wins
fun-
the Oscar. So that was the one that wins the Oscar, and so the others that might be in other people's lists did not win an Oscar. It wasn't deemed Oscar worthy.
Yeah, sometimes awards are just things you put up on a shelf. It's more the meaning and the soul of a song.
Well,
Maybe it's like
we're still on my time.
collecting,
Yes, so
you're just
under
collecting
this
doodads and thingamabobs. And
Thingamabobs.
I'm collecting heart and soul in my pick.
so
from,
my guess is
round
he's
number
number
2.
2. Are you next?
So, no, I am not.
Oh,
Next
Oh.
is Vanessa.
Okay, I'm starting to get a little nervous now.
Oh my gosh.
So I think I'm going to go classics on this one. One that a lot of young people like, a lot of families like. It's a fun one. I really like the Harry Connick Jr. version, also is very good. The Bare Necessities.
Nice.
For the
Good job.
Bare Necessities. When you pick a pawpaw or a prickly
Prickly
pear, and you pick a
Pick
raw
the wrong
paw,
paw.
well, next time beware. Yeah.
I'm
It's
sorry,
also
your
great
turn.
advice. Another great advice song.
Another
We watched,
metaphor song.
We watched Jungle Book for the first time, in his life yesterday, and he
Aw.
is, my son is so into it right now. So I think that's going to be the family movie for tonight, actually. It's
How
gonna be
cool. And someone who was very vital to that.
fun. It's so funny. The name,
Isn't that crazy?
the names we are dropping in this episode.
I'm sorry.
It is like
We're not like that in real life.
Get used to it, folks. Oh, yes, we are. Yes, we are. The second we get to meet somebody, even the slightest famous, we're like, well, you know it.
Well, no, I'm like going.
We'll
no,
never let it go.
We have to practice not being like that.
Oh, they love it.
They do. All right. So after Bare Necessities comes me. So what I've decided in my perfect draft would be a mixture of not only the movies, but also the parks and maybe some instrumental music. And so when I am just like looking to sit down, work on something, and listen to just a wonderful Disney song, I will pull up Married Life from Up. And so Married Life is my instrumental song, and it is by Michael Giacchino, and it is just a wonderful, wonderful song. Up as a movie, you know, I talked about it a lot in our Pixar rankings. It's not a movie that necessarily speaks to me necessarily. I understand it's beautiful, but Married Life as a theme and as a song that comes back up throughout the entire picture, absolutely love. So Married Life is my instrumental pick for this track. But
it ends with death. So remember that when you're voting. She dies.
It's on Main Street.
It is. Go ahead.
No, it's on Main Street. And okay.
Oh, I was just going to say
I have a turkey leg bone to pick. I'm sorry. There was a time when Disney parks, and especially Main Street, had absolutely period music in it, period to the turn of the century. And then sometime in the 1980s, it moved to other music that wasn't exactly period music. It was in the style of the period. So we got the Wells Fargo Wagon and Put On Your Sunday Clothes, which are from, let's see, Wells Fargo Wagon, 1950s. 1960s, Put On Your Sunday Clothes from Hello Dolly, because we all knew that at the turn of the century. But then they played, and then they added your song,
Married Life.
Married Life, which actually, in the style of the turn of the century, it's anyway.
I love all those songs. I can't believe you're saying anything derogatory about them.
I'm not saying anything derogatory about those songs.
The tone of your voice said it all.
I have a question about theming and placement.
Well, I actually, one of the reasons why
it's a little bit of a turkey bone.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Up turkey legs when you said not to bring them up. I will say, it's part of the reason why I picked this was when I do listen to Sorcerer Radio and other Disney Parks apps music, and this is one of those songs that I just love when it comes on. So my instrumental pick, that rounds out round number 6. We are moving into the final round. This is it. This is the last
27 more rounds. I could.
This is the last place to make your mark. So Vanessa, you are first. What is your final pick of the draft?
Okay. So I've been doing fan favorites this whole time. This is more of a me favorite.
Oh.
This song is hopefully what I will get to talk to the composer to. I'll hopefully get to talk to the composer about the song someday. Is Strangers Like Me from Tarzan, written by Phil Collins.
Phil Collins!
The best song. It's so good. I probably romanticize it a little more than what's appropriate, but I just think about Phil Collins in the jungle and that music video, and then like he's singing like, I wanna know, can you show me? And like young Vanessa was like, I'll show you, Phil Collins. Like, I'll come into the jungle, I'll just grab my bug spray and I'll be right there. And oh my gosh, if we ever get to talk to him, I'm gonna lose it.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. You need to practice now.
Fangirl too hard.
Oh my gosh. So make your questions so you're all prepared.
That's me. That one's for me, guys. So there you go.
Good for you.
There's nothing I could add to your love of Phil Collins. That whole, that soundtrack, we talked to Kevin a bit about it, but Trash in the Camp and just so many of those songs.
So many good ones. So many good ones.
My heart.
You'll be in my heart. Much like Phil is always in Vanessa's heart.
I know, right? I bought his book. It's down here. Hopefully I'll get to meet him. He can sign it. Do you know they're going on tour? Genesis is going on tour. Yeah, they've moved it to April. spring 2021, and they've added a date in England, and I'm, depending on the state of the world, I might fly to England just to see Phil Collins' Genesis, April 30th, 2021.
Moving on in the 7th round. We got to get through the 7th round. This is my last pick. So I am up, and then Brett will be finishing out our draft.
Okay.
So I think I have to say, I think I got just about everything I wanted. Maybe Let It Go would have went in there somewhere, and Brett took that one from me. But I wanted to have a mixture, again, of that film, that instrumental, and then I haven't had my Park song yet. And I thought that it would just be perfect bookends to this whole experience if I were to bookend Richard and Robert Sherman and say that there will always be a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. And so that is the song that I'm going to take from the Parks, because it is a song that, and this sounds corny, it really does, but these last couple months, I've really felt like this song is something that has been just inspiring to me, and, you know, like always trying to be forward looking. And so this is another song that we listen to very often in our household. And it just kind of fits perfectly to start it with the Shermans and end it with the Shermans, because of course they have provided us with so much musical joy. So my final pick, There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow from the Carousel of Progress.
It's my ringtone.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Ringtone.
That
Well,
was
was it
on
your
my
pick?
that was on my maybe list, but Craig, I honestly thought that you were gonna pick the theme song to DuckTales.
Ooh.
You know, there's a lot of those iconic songs, but DuckTales is one that would have crept up there. But, you know, I decided that maybe I decided it because Goofy Movie started in the TV studio side of things. I decided that was kind of my TV representation with Eye to Eye. So that's my justification in my mind.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Okay.
and just so you know, I'm sure you remember this. Well, you don't remember this, but There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow debuted in the 1964 World's Fair as part of the General Electric Carousel of Progress.
It did. I bet that was on your list, Brett, because it's your ringtone, right?
No, it is my ringtone, the instrumental. You got to hear it because it's really good.
Nice. Brett, bring us home. What's the final pick of the draft?
Big knots in my stomach. Big knots in my stomach. Well, we're all in this together from High School Musical. Okay, listen to this. Well, Vanessa, you need to. Okay, High School Musical. You had everyone in the High School Musical. You had the basketball player and the science person and Sharpay. You know, gotta love Sharpay. You do. Anyway, and see, you don't know any of these people. You have.
I mean, I know what a Sharpay is. It's a type of dog.
Because I know you. We're all in this together. Composer, lyricist, Matthew Garrard. Yeah.
I was going to say directed
Kenny
by
Ortega.
Disney legend Kenny Ortega.
Kenny Ortega, Disney legend. Mm-hmm. Hocus Pocus, you know, too. Anyway, so yeah. But it was composer, lyricist Matthew Gerard and Robbie Neville. And listen to this. Everyone is special in their own way. We make each other strong. We make each other strong. We're not the same. We're different in a good way. Together is where we belong. Well, right now, we are all in this together. So that's why I think you should. And you love the song and you know the dance. We're all in this together. Anyway. Vanessa doesn't know the song. Oh my gosh.
I don't know this.
Yes. It's a great, there's actually a great
I was not in
episode
high school when it came out, but I still know the choreography.
There's a great episode of Encore, the Disney Plus original that brings back High School Musical, and it's a lot of fun. So, but yeah, you're right, Brett. I mean, it led into Glee. It led into all of this resurgence of musical theater for sure. Mm-hmm. So it's a good pick because I think that our audience might have been kind of in that high school range-ish when we were, when that movie came out. So this might be a very solid final pick.
So I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you were just hustling us this whole time. So that is it, everyone. We're going to go over the teams right now. I'm just going to do it based on the order we went in the first round. So Team Vanessa is How Far I'll Go, Zero to Hero, Prince Ali, He Lives in You, I'll Make a Man Out of You, The Bare Necessities, and Strangers Like Me.
Oh, Phil.
Team Craig.
Go, Phil.
Yeah, that's a pretty good list. Let's make our expectations a little lower because now you're about to hear Team Craig. Team Craig, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, part of your world, you've got a friend in me, eye to eye, be our guest, married life, and there's a great big beautiful tomorrow. Team Brett, when you wish upon a star, let it go, the grim grinning ghost, see the light, feed the birds, under the sea, and we're all in this together. That is a really good range of songs. I've got to tell you, this whole draft thing turned out even better than I expected it to. It was a lot of fun. And so now the choice is yours, listeners. So along with this episode, we are posting our songs and our teams, and you need to go vote for either Team Craig, Team Brett, or Team Vanessa to see who is going to have the bragging rights and win this draft of Disney songs. And don't forget that you can also check out Howard on Disney Plus on August 7th, and we'll be watching it right there along with you. So any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up? I'll give it to Vanessa first because she was nice to me before we started recording today. Some others weren't nice to me. So Vanessa, let's wrap it up with you.
Okay, well, this was a lot of fun. It was really, really tough to make these picks. I'm glad we didn't have to get too vicious between each other in our strategies of winning. But it was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to do it. I mean, we could do different themes of this, over and over again, but I'm not sure our friendship can withstand it. So we will see what happens, and vote for me.
This was just so much fun. Yeah, absolutely. If you have a suggestion for what you want us to do next in a draft, I'm totally up for that because this was a lot of fun. Maybe we could do maybe we could do park treats as a draft sometime and really get into it. So, Brett.
Haven't we really gotten into that? No, I mean, really. I think park songs, that would be good because there are plenty of park songs. So
yeah, only a couple of them represented in this bracket, I think.
Oh my
only
gosh,
Grim Grinning
so
Ghost
hard.
And there's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, but you could have had Soaring Out Over California. You could have had Pirates. I mean, there's so many.
The Tiki Room.
The Tiki Room.
Yeah.
Golden Dream. Hello. Lots.
Absolutely.
Lots.
But this was just overall Disney songs. Oh yeah, Brett, you had something?
Thank you. Yes, you were going to ask me about, I had more fun than I thought I would. I mean, it was so much fun. Well, it's always great spending time with you two. It is. It's not like a punishment or anything. It's so hard to choose the songs. Oh my gosh. Because I didn't get to choose Rumbly in My Tumbly, from The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, or The Second Star to the Right, which I love, from Peter Pan, and Canine Crunchies from 101 Dalmatians.
It's really interesting that Peter Pan
so
staying off the board for the whole draft. I was
next
surprised
time.
by that.
I was kind of thinking about our audience, and so audience, go watch Peter Pan, and then we'll bring back, and then I'll help you. Thank you.
I'm sure we'll see you on the.
Because I never win anything.
To the right. Yeah, that's true. Maybe we should give ourselves a minute to campaign here or something. I can go first. When you're looking at the absolute perfect team, you want to build on strengths of all different assets and different areas, and you bring those songs together, and you've got the classics, you've got the Renaissance, you've got the parks, you've got instrumental, you have a cult classic like Eye to Eye. You cannot lose with my team because remember, there is always a big, bright, beautiful tomorrow, and we will all win together on Team Craig. Brett, you want to go next?
Well, honestly, I'm very happy with how my song list turned out, being new to this, because thinking this is buckets, or is it baskets? What are we talking about? I don't know. But I was really happy. So I'm just going to let my song list speak for itself.
Okay, Vanessa.
Well, all I have to say is that, yes, there were songs that won Oscars. Yes, there were songs that were considered iconic. But what songs are you really listening to over and over and over again? It's the songs on my list. you know they're your true favorites. So vote for me. Also, Phil Collins, I did put you on the list, and I'm going to have Brett edit out all that crazy stuff I said about you, too.
Stays in because you really love him. It's really good.
Well, this might be a bit of an announcement here, folks. As you've probably noticed throughout the summer, we have been bringing you more and more content, and we're going to continue to try to do that for as long as we can. So you should be looking out in your feeds on every Friday. You should have a new episode of Beyond the Mouse, and we're excited to let you know that next Friday, our episode will be with Dan Cockerell. It's such a great interview. His book is available. How's the Culture in Your Kingdom? I immediately after talking to him, I went and pre-ordered it. So I'll have that to be able to read, but just a wonderful, wonderful interview. And we can't wait for you to listen to that next Friday. You can also find us on our social media on Facebook and on Instagram. Of course, we're part of the Front Row Network, so you can find them on social media as well. And you can always track us down at nprillinois.org if you want to go the NPR route and be really fancy with your web searches. So thank you so much for joining us in this draft. Make sure to vote for Beyond the Mouse. I am Craig.
I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Brett.
And we will see you real soon in the front row. My team's gonna win!
Oh my gosh, please don't make me sound crazy to Phil Collins. Please edit that. Please edit that out. Don't let him hear how crazy I am.
It is so cute. Oh.